Hi, I'm Jem.
And I'm Victoria.
And this is...
The Criminal Crack.
Hello!
Oh, it changes every time.
That's the amazing thing.
Sorry, I had a frog in my throat then.
How are you? I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good too.
I'm running on fumes, but I'm good.
Oh, yeah. It's been a hectic couple of weeks, hasn't it? And you've been poorly again.
I have been poorly again.
Sucks.
I'm just always ill, folks. Yeah, and I've took on extra work that in hindsight maybe was a bit much. But
Is it because you also go and sort of lick windows and stuff and handrails and...
No, because I always did that.
Oh, okay, that's fair enough.
That was to build up my immunity. I don't know what's gone wrong.
Right, yeah, something's gone awry, hasn't it?
It has, but yeah. No, I'm alright. You?
Yeah, I'm good. I've been working hard. I've had a very, very interesting week. I went to a couple of charity shops, no surprise there.
No surprise.
And I've saved this to tell you because
Uh-oh.
it amused me.
You know what's
Now-
not amusing our listeners? That you've not put a picture of that jumpsuit up yet.
I know.
You suck!
I don't have a full-length mirror, so it's
You
hard.
don't need a mirror to
And
take
I've
a
got
picture of
tiny
something.
T-Rex arms. Oh, I thought you wanted me in it.
At this stage, we just want a picture of it even in the bag.
Oh, right, because I've got tiny T-Rex arms, so selfies are really hard, and they end up just being my chin or my boobs, and it's difficult. Anyway...
And teeny boobs, because a lemon was bigger than one.
It was a giant lemon. Anyway, back to my little story about...
Okay.
I was minding my own business, just
That's not
having a look around a charity shop. I can't remember which one it was. And a little old woman wandered into the till with a bag,
Yeah.
a see-through bag, and in it, she said, "I need to return this." And she slammed it on the till.
Uh-huh.
And I looked, and I'm like, it looks like a Rubik's Cube. But
Okay.
it was in pieces.
Oh!
And the woman said, "What happened?" And this little old lady said, "Well, I couldn't do it, so I had to hit it with a hammer."
And then she tried to return it.
She won! Genuinely, she was bringing a Rubik's Cube that she'd smashed to bits with a hammer because she got so frustrated. And I was just trying not to pee my pants. I was just like... And the face of the woman behind the counter as well was like, she didn't know what to do with herself. She was angry. The woman was angry.
Do you think that had just happened? And then she came in?
I don't know.
That's bonkers.
I've heard of people trying to peel the stickers off and stuff, but no, she just got fed up and smashed it with a hammer and bringing it back to a charity shop anyway. But
the other thing is, you can only bring things back if they're in the same condition that they left.
well, clearly she didn't think so.
Did she get her money back?
No, she didn't.
If you know this woman, please let us know. That's nuts!
It's just one of the craziest things I've ever seen in real life, and I thought, is there a hidden camera? Is this Beatles about? Is he back from the dead? But
He is dead, right?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's dead.
I saw somebody try to return a used dildo once. It was in a sex shop, it wasn't a charity shop. But it was a guy, and he was up at the till, and he was like... I need to return this, and he got it out the bag, and it was one of them rubber ones that sort of wiggled. You worked in Ann Summers, you've probably seen this before.
Yeah, I was just about to elaborate. So when I worked in Ann Summers in Ipswich many, many moons ago, we did used to get returns. Like, some of the mechanisms would go faulty and stuff, but sometimes we got returns of
Just didn't like it.
dildos that were just, had no mechanism, and it's like, wow. Some of them, we had one bloke come in distraught because he reckoned it had wrecked his relationship.
It had wrecked his rectum.
And anyway, we were disposing of these things, and we discovered that the vagrants of Ipswich were actually getting them out of the bin in the night and having like Star Wars-esque lightsaber fights with them. So we were actually instructed, the boss made us chop them up. When they got returned, we had to chop them up and put them in the bin because otherwise the vagrants would... And I'm like, why spoil their fun? Look at them. They're having the time of their lives.
What did you do at work today? I just chopped up dildos.
Pretty much.
What did you use? Like, just knives or big scissors?
Big scissors. But it wasn't easy.
I like to cut my meat with big scissors because I don't like touching it.
Oh, goodness. The best thing for cutting meat is the scissors that you get the paramedics have on the ambulance, you know, for cutting
I'm not
through
going to
clothes.
go and rob a paramedic for
I
the
had a
scissors.
friend that was a paramedic, and so she used to give me the scissors, and she was like, they're excellent for cutting up chicken, and it really was. Anyway, yeah, that was a funny story that I actually shared with my work colleagues in a meeting recently. We were talking about my adventures in Ann Summers, which was
That's
good
nuts.
fun. Good
I don't know
fun.
if
That's nuts.
dildo would be a great lightsaber. Do they light up?
Some of them glow in the dark,
Right, I'm picturing something.
and some of them were really long,
Remember,
like wobbly
Come out your
sausage.
remember you used to put a torch in your mouth and do this,
Mm.
blow your cheeks out, so your cheeks would light up. Do you think your
Yeah.
whole body would light up for one? I'm really sorry. This is a really PG-18.
Only for adults.
parental guidance. Yeah, this is only for adults. If you don't like this conversation, then
Children,
we're not
cover
for
your
you.
ears, because Gemma's a beast of a minx.
Don't
No,
call me a
sounds
beast.
That
That
sounds
sounds
horrible.
horrible.
That's not what I meant. I meant like you're foxy. I don't know.
Jesus.
Anyway,
You been up to anything?
Yeah.
I was in Aberdeen working, and I can't tell you what it is right now or the story behind it, but Victoria's son's going to be 18 soon, and I got him a gift, and I just know that when it's unwrapped, this whole household will piss themselves laughing.
Now we're going to need some tenor.
You're going to need 10 tenors,
10 tenors.
like antennas.
This is really not PG today, is it?
Oh, everybody pees himself a little bit, so tenor lady's fine. Not an ad, but would be open to it.
Do you know what the difference is between a chickpea and a lentil?
I wouldn't let a lentil pee on my face. Is that what it is?
You've never had a lentil on your face yet.
Oh, okay. I probably have had lentils on my face, though. Lentil dal, baby. Will you stop drinking down the
I'm
microphone?
sorry.
Not only did you drink, you snorted.
I did, because you made me laugh. And then I started thinking of, because you were talking about stuff on your face, and I remember Becky, who's a listener, she thought that her son, when he was a baby, had some kind of strange...
Oh, you've told me about this, yeah.
strange dermatitis. And she was like, oh no, what's wrong with him? And it turned out it was dried up Weetabix.
I love Weetabix.
Because kids do cover themselves in Weetabix, so they're like, yeah, smoosh, face,
Not
head.
specifically Weetabix. Anyway,
Anyway.
can I just say a big thank you to everybody for the response on the last episode? We greatly appreciate it. I also need to let you know we're on YouTube now.
That's exciting.
At The Criminal Crap. We're not on YouTube.
You can't see our faces.
Our faces aren't there, but I am getting to the point. Well, when we started, we were going to do filming. We just don't have a spot really to do it yet, and we don't have the know-how yet.
I think when I have a place of my own, it'll be...
We're not waiting till then.
Oh God, it can't be that much longer, can
So a
it?
beautiful house in Huntly.
I don't know where Huntley is, but okay.
Yes, you do. We've been to Huntly.
Have we?
It had that really cool charity shop that had all the free sanitary stuff at the start. Went with the witch, remember?
I thought that was in Inverurie.
That's Huntly, you knob.
Oh, okay.
Anywho. Yeah, so we're on YouTube now, and if you subscribe there, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm not even subscribed yet, so I should pull my finger out and do that, shouldn't I?
Oh, you're not subscribed yet. Twice in the time that we've had this podcast, you've said you don't even follow our Facebook, and I'm like, I was the first friggin' follower because I set up the page.
Yeah, it's weird because it won't let me tag you in it.
I think tagging's come back on. I think I had a shadow ban for...
Erotic monkey massage. No?
No, they were fine with that.
Oh, okay.
No, there was something that I shared, not the last time that they said about a fact checker, but I shared something one time before, and they said it was lewd, but then I was like, no, it's not. I can't remember what it was. It was something that had no sexual connotation to it at all, and I had to explain, and then they let me back on, and my
Okay.
tagging went then, so maybe it's that.
Maybe.
Anywho,
I can hear the CEO lurking outside
so can I,
the
but she
door.
can lurk, because after her behaviour last fortnight. So Victoria, it's your turn today.
It is.
Would you like to tell me what is the crap?
Well, Gemma, Louisa Jane Jarrett was born in June 1892 in Gloucestershire, the daughter of a labourer and his wife. There's little knowledge about her early years online, but it seems she spent most of it, if not all her life, in the same familiar corner of England. In 1915, while working at a tobacco factory, Louisa met Edwin Parker, who was known as Teddy. The two quickly fell in love and married, and welcomed two daughters, Edna and Iris. The family settled in Bristol, where Teddy served as an alderman, which I had to look up what this meant.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I didn't know what it was, and it's an elected member of a local council. Both Louisa and Teddy were active, vibrant figures in their community. Their future looked bright, especially around 1945, when Teddy was poised to become the next mayor and Louise the next mayoress.
Oh.
But their hopes were cut tragically short when Teddy died suddenly after a brief illness. His passing not only ended Louisa's chance at a public life she seemed well suited for, but it also dimmed the lively intellectual presence she had shared alongside her husband. Years later, Louisa found companionship again. In 1952, she married John Dunn, a night watchman, and the two settled in 58 Britannia Road in Easton, still in Bristol.
Okay.
Sadly, John passed away in 1961 of natural causes, leaving Louisa widowed for a second time.
Do we have another man killer?
We don't. No.
No.
I
Just bad luck.
thought you'd think that. Once known as a sharp, sociable and well-regarded woman, Louisa gradually withdrew from public life. She became estranged from her daughters, and years later, when doctors asked Edna, so one of her daughters, to take her now elderly mother in after a brief hospital stay, Edna declined, citing lack of space in their council flat, though some reports suggest deeper family tensions, including Louisa's struggle with alcohol that had caused conflict at home, and Edna actually was known to say her home life had been marked by rows and aggression.
Oh.
Louisa returned to her home in Bristol to live alone. That's because her daughter didn't want her at the flat. Although she kept mostly to herself, neighbours remembered her fondly as a gentle, kind-hearted woman, someone who wouldn't hurt a fly. Even as others said they felt as that she drank too much, so there was still that element of maybe a problem with alcohol. Yeah. Sadly, we know all too well that alcohol can add an extra element to someone's vulnerability, and especially to those who might exploit the circumstances. So we've had that in cases before, haven't we? On the 27th of June 1967, Louisa left the home of her close friend Alice Clark at around 5:20 in the evening. Louisa visited her often. Alice had limited mobility and these early evening calls were part of their regular routine. Alice later said that Louisa seemed in good spirits when she set off. She'd mentioned that she was heading home to get to bed. It would be the last time that Alice saw her best friend of almost 30 years.
Oh.
On the morning of the 28th of June 1967, a quiet unease settled over Britannia Road. A couple of Mrs. Dunn's neighbours, Violet Fortune and Hilda Stedman, became...
Wait a minute, can we just... Violet Fortune, that's
Fantastic
amazing.
name, isn't it?
And what was the second name?
Hilda Stedman.
Yeah! I like them.
They sound really in vogue, don't they? I love it. They became concerned when they hadn't seen Louisa, and her paper remained untouched on the garden wall, and Mrs. Fortune would leave the previous day's paper for her neighbour, so she knew specifically that it was there.
How long it had been there.
touched.
Sorry, how old's Louisa at this point?
1967.
75. Yeah.
So, the paper was untouched and the curtains hadn't been drawn, and when they noticed that a sash window was open at their neighbour's home, they felt something was definitely wrong. They called out Louisa's name, but when it yielded no response, Violet clambered through the ground floor window and into the stillness of her neighbour's home. The air inside was stale and motionless, as though the house itself were holding its breath. Violet made her way through the house. She walked into Louisa's living room, where she made a startling discovery. Louisa lay on the floor, small, slight and fragile. At first, Violet only saw Louisa's legs. As she moved closer, her heart hammering in her chest, she reached out with a trembling hand. Her fingers brushed Louisa's, and the chill struck her instantly. Louisa lay there cold as ice, and Violet realised that her elderly neighbour, her friend, was dead.
Oh, can I just say what's really nice about that so far is that Louisa was found so quickly, because so many times you hear about people dying in their homes and they're old, they live alone, and people don't know for years sometimes. So
it normally is with elderly people, isn't it?
Yeah.
That don't necessarily have frequent visitors. It's a worry, isn't it? So Louisa was 75 years old when a stranger broke into her home and subjected her to a horrific attack. A brutal sexual assault before ultimately smothering and strangling her. Weighing under 7 stone and standing just 5'3", she fell victim to a cruel, sadistic brutalist, an evil, predatory offender.
God.
The police mounted a large and meticulous investigation. Detectives interviewed witnesses who reported hearing screams in the night. They gathered palm prints from 19,000 men. And collected every forensic sample they could find. Some of Louisa's belongings and clothing, including a blue skirt that she'd been wearing, poured into evidence bags and sealed. investigators not yet aware of the importance these articles would have in convicting a horrific criminal. Yet initially, despite the investigators' exhaustive efforts, no breakthrough emerged. Louisa Dunn's murder investigation slowly grew cold, and the evidence, carefully boxed and labelled, was shelved indefinitely. The crime had sent shockwaves across the nation and left the Bristol community gripped by fear.
I'm not surprised. Like, if you're going, I always think when you hear about sexual assaults, in particular on the elderly, you're looking for somebody. It's the same as with children. You're looking for somebody really evil.
Yeah, they are vulnerable
Broken
people.
Yeah,
And to also do it to break into their own home.
where they're meant to feel safe.
Yeah, it's...
And she must have felt safe as well because of the type of community that she had, knowing that her friends were looking out for her.
Yeah, and also, but she was also given that, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Because she'd been to her friend who was less mobile, and
Yep.
and so it was obviously a really comfortable community.
Lulls you into a false sense, doesn't it? And that's
does.
what these predators look for.
It does. In this case, the marriage of old-fashioned police work, clerical efficiency, including proper gathering, processing and storage of evidence, paired with modern advancements in scientific and forensic investigation, would eventually give people the answers they needed. But the truth wouldn't be uncovered for more than 50 years.
Gee whiz, okay.
Making this case widely regarded as Britain's oldest successfully solved cold case to date. And I know you don't like the phrase cold case, but
Yeah.
yeah. In 2023, the Avon and Somerset review team dusted off the files and archive evidence and picked the case up. Using modern forensic methods and scientific testing...
Sorry, what year?
2023.
2023.
Yeah. So using forensic methods and scientific testing, they were able to use new DNA evidence to link Louisa's death to a known criminal named Ryland Headley.
Oh.
And I'm going to tell you a bit about this heinous beast now. His background has some relevance, and I'll get to that in due course. So, Headley was born in Jamaica in 1932 and emigrated to the UK at the age of 20, arriving on a boat called the Reina del Mar, which sailed into Plymouth on the 6th of July 1952. He settled in Bristol, married a Barbadian nurse, and they had 3 children.
Barbadian.
Barbadian. I was wondering how to say that.
Yeah, I think it's Barbadian. If we're wrong, please let us know.
Barbadian. She was from Barbados, loving it. He worked on the railways as a machinist. However, his extracurricular pursuits, especially involving criminality, were extensive. The list of incidents linked to him continues to grow as cases are revisited with new evidence and improved investigative methods. And again, I'll mention some of those towards the end. Shortly after the sexual assault and murder of Mrs. Dunn, Headley slipped from within the inquiry perimeter to just beyond it. He actually moved intently to avoid detection. And he managed to evade suspicion before he vanished from Bristol altogether, and he resurfaced. And guess where he popped up?
Scotland.
Ipswich.
Oh!
Good old Ipswich in Suffolk. There, his predatory habits only deepened. A prolific burglar, he stalked the homes of elderly, solitary women and has been tied to at least 10 break-ins in Ipswich between 1973 and 1977. But his depravity extended far beyond burglary alone. In October 1977, on 2 separate nights, this creature invaded the homes of 2 vulnerable widows, one aged 79 and the other aged 84. He sexually assaulted both elderly women before fleeing.
Oh, scumbag.
And in one attack, he threatened to strangle his victim to death as well. And so we know that Louisa was strangled to death.
Yeah.
Headley was swiftly apprehended for these attacks and admitted to the offences he was accused of once he was caught. The method of entry into the victims' homes, the nature of the assaults and the profile of the women all echoed the case of Louisa Dunn. Yet despite the striking parallels, the science needed to prove the connection, and most notably the national DNA database, was still years away from existence. And so no link was made at the time. The initial sentence, these are for the 2 sexual assaults. In May of 1978, Headley was handed a life sentence for the attacks on the 2 women in Ipswich, and the 10 burglaries were also considered when sentencing was calculated. Unbelievably, and this
It's not going to be unbelievable, is it?
His legal team appealed the sentence on the grounds of it being excessive for a person of previous good character and reputation. Obviously, they didn't know at the time that he had brutally murdered an elderly woman within her own home years prior to these attacks.
No, they didn't know that, but they knew that he was confident enough to do 2 attacks on the same bloody night. I think I know this case. Did he take things from their homes?
Well, he was a burglar, so yeah.
I think I've got a vague memory of watching something, and I think it might be this case. Oh, sorry.
It's been in the news recently, so you may well have seen something.
Oh, I don't watch the news, but...
Oh, okay. The appeal court was influenced by an independent psychiatrist's report which claimed Headley had, this is a quote, acted impulsively whilst he was in a state of sexual frustration and in the act of trying to financially appease his wife by petty burglary.
What a heap of bullshit. First of all, we know that these expert witnesses, I don't know if in the UK this is the case, but in most places, expert witnesses get paid by the side that they're working for. So it makes sense for them to give information that goes with the case, otherwise they wouldn't be in the court anyway. Second of all, boo fucking who?
I know.
Sexually frustrated? I haven't had a ride for a while, so I think I'll just go out and do this.
But
no.
also, to me, that they're trying to shift the blame to his wife.
Yeah, of course they do, because women are always to blame.
That really made me cross.
I think I'm just sick of hearing it to the point that, yeah.
And sickeningly, this appeal was successful, and his sentence was reduced to 7 years.
Wait, from life to 7 years?
Wait, I'm not even there yet, Gemma. He served 2. And this is where I've actually typed in my notes. Pause for Gem to blow off steam.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm expected to say about that. I mean, the only saving grace about this is that it was in the 70s and maybe they didn't know better. But fuck them.
I know.
So who did he go on to? He's
From
obviously
life
committing
to
more
7
crime.
and served 2. That's despicable.
It's disgusting. And I'm guessing he goes on to do more.
Yeah, I'll get there. So, this isn't the first case we've covered on the criminal crack. Early release has been followed by another serious offence, and it does make me question how often this happens. And
all the fucking time.
Well, it's something I think we should dig into properly and look at in a future episode, maybe a bonus episode.
I don't think it would be an episode. It would be, I think this is the sort of theme that's going to colour nearly every episode that we ever do, because they keep allowing it to happen. And then now they're letting people out who are never supposed to be out accidentally.
Accidentally, and because it's a bit busy in there.
Yeah, well, stop putting people in for petty things and concentrate on the violent, the sexual, things like, that we know escalate.
Yeah. And I've gone on to say here, it seems clear that when someone convicted of a serious crime, especially violent and sexual offences, are released, there must, or at least there should be, like, a meaningful accountability and oversight. Somebody needs to be accountable. And I know we have the sex offenders register, but I don't actually know how that works.
The register doesn't work, though, because people can move, like, say, for example, where I live, it came about that there was a sexual predator who was on the register but hadn't changed their address. Now, I was always under the assumption they had to attend a police station or something every now and again, but it doesn't look like they do.
Well, this is it. Who enforces it? Who actually polices it? I don't know I genuinely don't know who's responsible, and I'm assuming it's the Justice Department or the Parole Board, but how do they police
God knows.
this?
I don't think they do police it properly. I mean, if you try to even go to a police station in our local area, you're lucky if you can even get anybody in, so...
They're always locked up, aren't they? You have to phone or dial a number on the door or something? Or...
Yeah, but where I live, the thing on the door doesn't work, which led to... So let's just say somebody found a bag of cocaine on the street and decided to...
Was it a crack addict?
No, we weren't out
I
then.
winked at the mic. Oh,
We weren't available then.
Oh, okay.
No, so a bag
we don't supply crack. What? We weren't available?
We weren't a thing then.
Okay.
So somebody found a bag of cocaine in my local town, went to the police station, nobody there, tried the little doohickey on the door, it was broken, phoned 101 and said, look, what am I meant to do with this? Like, it's not mine and don't really know what to do with it. And in the end, it had to be posted through the door with no note or nothing, just a bag of cocaine.
Oh my God.
So, yeah.
And is, like, the person that first opens up in the morning going to know about this? Are they going to go, oh...
No, because I doubt anything's passed on. And when they phoned 101, they were just basically told, I'll just wait till the place is open again. Oh, yeah, and in the meantime, I get caught with cocaine on me, or, I mean, assuming it was cocaine, it was white powder, in your home. What if you had kids in the house?
Yeah.
Next thing, you're a terrible parent, your kid's got a hold of that cocaine that the police didn't want to take because nobody's in the police station, nobody answers the doohickey.
The broken doohickey.
The broken doohickey.
Wow.
It's a don't hickey. That was good. I give myself a star on my papers for that.
Yeah, that was very good. She's so fast sometimes. So, back to this monster. After serving just 2 years, Headley was released from prison, so it was around 1980. He slipped back into Ipswich and lived quietly, largely unnoticed until 2012, when he was arrested for assault, although the charge was later dropped, and so I couldn't actually find the details of this assault. But during his brief time in custody, officers took a routine cheek swab.
You ain't going nowhere, pal.
Well, it still took a while to catch up with him. The swab was logged, filed away, and ultimately became the key that would unlock the truth about the rape and murder of Louisa Dunn in 1967. As I noted earlier, Louisa's case was re-examined in 2023 by the Avon and Somerset Review team, and using modern forensic techniques, investigated recovered seminal DNA from that blue skirt that I said that they'd bagged. So that had been preserved for more than half a century, and they were able successfully to retrieve that sample. So when the sample was run through the National DNA Database, it produced a match.
Ding, 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 ding,
ding, ding, ding. One so strong that it was 1 billion times more likely to belong to Headley than to anybody else.
But there's a smidge. That's...
Oh, no. It was this...
Right, so where is he and why does it take 11 years to get him?
It's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely bonkers.
He's not exactly keeping his head down if he's being arrested for assault.
Yeah, and what else has he been doing? So, in November 2024, police finally arrested and charged him.
Wait, 2024?
Yeah.
So that's 12 years later.
Uh-huh. He was 92 when they caught up with him. And footage of his arrest in his Ipswich home shows a frail, unremarkable figure, yet one completely devoid of remorse. He was pathetic. I watched this clip and they're talking to him and he's just going, yeah.
He's 92. What can they even do to him that makes any difference?
It's so wrong that he's lived his life. By the time they caught up with him, all but one of the original witnesses in the case had died.
Of course.
Yeah. And this left the prosecution in a predicament, and they had to rely almost entirely on written statements from 1967. And again, something that...
Sod that, they've got the DNA.
But thankfully, though, those statements had been carefully processed and archived, like, securely for decades.
Nothing was
and
lost.
Like your case last time, they'd lost everything. So actually... You know, you've got to give them a pat on the back. And your case is older
as well.
Yeah.
No, I'm not giving them a pat on the back just for doing their job, Victoria.
Well, no.
Like, come on.
Well, all right, you've got to acknowledge it then.
But I don't even think I need to... I don't even need to acknowledge
it.
They're doing the basic of their job. Yeah, well done, you didn't lose it.
Yeah. Now, under current legislation, a witness statement would usually need to be backed by something called a signed statement of truth before it can be used in court without the witness actually appearing. So this would normally be in cases of particularly vulnerable witnesses, i.e. very young people, or where special measures are placed, where there's been an extremely violent attack and that person can't physically cope with being in the same room. And that is really rare that happens, but it can be applied for.
Could that be like in the circumstances, like say a family or a notorious family in an area and everybody's terrified of them?
I think probably.
Could it be something like that?
They could certainly apply for it, but apparently it's really, really hard to get these special measures put in place because they would always prefer the witness to appear.
So then what if they don't put those measures in place? What happens to a witness who then doesn't? Do you know?
They are subpoenaed. They actually have to appear in court, and if
but they don't have to say anything, do they?
Well, I suppose
that's just another example of the victims getting treated poorly, isn't it?
But in this case anyway, because the witnesses are no longer alive to verify their accounts or to be cross-examined, and they obviously couldn't be challenged, so the only way their statements could be used was if they could be entered as hearsay evidence, and hearsay evidence would normally not be as strong. But in this case, I think with everybody understanding the time that had passed, the jury knowing all of that, I don't think it weakened it.
No, it shouldn't. It's not the victim's fault or any of those witnesses' fault that it's taken this long to catch this fucking beast.
Yeah. So the CPS successfully argued that the historical statement should be still admitted as part of the prosecution's case, and that was allowed. And so the court could hear the important voices of the witnesses who could no longer speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Alongside the witness hearsay and DNA evidence, the prosecution also had a carefully preserved palm print,
Mm-hmm.
which had been taken from... You remember I said they
Yeah.
got palm prints from 19,000, but he'd skipped town.
Right up.
So they had that palm print, and it had been taken from outside Mrs. Dunn's bedroom window, and this belonged to Headley, and it proved that he'd attempted multiple points of entry. So he was adamant he was getting in there. 58 years after he raped and murdered a small, defenceless, elderly woman in her own home, Ryland Headley was sentenced to life in prison, finally. A victim impact statement was read in court by Ms. Dainton, who was Louisa's granddaughter, who was just 20 years old when her grandmother was killed. She said, "It saddens me deeply that all the people who knew and loved Louisa are not here to see the justice being done." Mr. Justice Sweeting, the judge, described the attack as pitiless and cruel, noting that Headley had shown no remorse for what he had done. From the court transcripts, he said, "The enduring, devastating and intergenerational impact on Mrs. Dunn's family, as set out by her granddaughter, is also a powerful aggravating factor, showing the true measure of the harm you inflicted." So 58 years after he committed that crime, he was finally sentenced, and the judge said, "It is normally necessary to explain the effect of such a minimum term in detail, but given your age of 92, and for all practical purposes, I can do so in very short terms. You will never be released. You will die in prison."
Mm-hmm.
Which is obvious, but yeah, he should have been there a long time.
Yeah, you should have.
And it's infuriating to me that someone that caused such catastrophic harm to so many families and had such a completely negative impact in the world, how was he able to live free for so many years? His neighbours in Ipswich actually said he was a kind, respectful man who adored his family and tended to his garden. These are things that he should never have had the freedom or the privilege to enjoy. Never. I was going to finish here, but I think I should tell you about some other cases investigators are revisiting in light of the recent DNA evidence and intelligence, and cases that could very likely be connected to Headley too. But I'll only give you a shorter outline of these because they're not conclusively linked to him yet. But it's a work in progress. Okay. So, on Tuesday the 28th of August 1984, 87-year-old Edna Mary Ann Harvey was murdered inside her home in Finchley Road in Ipswich. Edna, who was born in 1897, was discovered by neighbours who rushed over after seeing smoke drifting from her front door.
Oh, okay.
They tried desperately to reach her, but the thick smoke made it impossible to do so safely. When the emergency services were able to reach her, the elderly woman was found in her bed, which had been deliberately set alight.
Oh, God.
And it later became clear that she had been violently assaulted. Very little is known about what Edna did in the days leading up to her death, because that's the way with a lot of elderly people who are solitary and,
yeah,
you know.
And also, most of their days probably look the same.
Yeah, I remember my little old neighbour Doris, and she was wonderful. But she loved sport, so she would watch all the sports on the telly, and she might go to the shop at lunchtime, and she always baked on a Friday. That was her baking day. But yeah, it was very, very simple. Yeah. The general belief with Edna Harvey was that the brutal attack was a result of a burglary gone wrong. That was their general belief at the time. I think so.
Well, then that's not off the back of a burglary. You could see I
couldn't find conclusively.
Yeah. You don't go in somewhere to burgle and think, oh, while I'm here, I'll do this. Or, oh, I've been caught, somebody's in the house, so I'll sexually assault them. You're either the sort of person who's gone there with that in mind, or you're not.
Well, they've got forensic DNA that would also thin more than what they're saying at the moment. Police launched a full murder inquiry. Several known offenders were brought in for questioning with this one, but none confessed.
How awful's that? Several people that it could have... That's gross, isn't it?
I know. A number of items were recovered from the scene and sent for forensic testing, though the technology available at the time didn't reveal any significant leads. Advancements now in the forensic science has given the police review teams new lead to revisit this case with a renewed hope that Edna's killer may yet be brought to justice.
And whether it's this Rylan or not, if they get get whoever it is.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
peace of mind for her family.
And I just wonder if they've uncovered something that wasn't detectable back in 1984, because obviously things do evolve, and they've done so much, haven't they?
Yeah.
With science, and I just hope for their remaining relatives and stuff. I'm going to read this bit, which was on the Suffolk Police website, because it says, why has this case been looked at again?
Okay.
And it says, in line with Suffolk Police's commitment to solving crime, this case has been one of a number which have been subjected to regular review. This case now forms part of the unsolved case review process and is subject to continual review for lines of investigation that can progress this case. A review of the forensic evidence has been carried out, and the findings are subject of analysis to help provide direction to take the case forward. And the contact details with Suffolk Police, he's called Mr. Andy Guy, from the Major Crime Review and Unsolved Case Manager.
When was that statement made? Is that recent?
I'm not sure. That statement was linked to every unsolved one that I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
I think he's the head honcho looking at all of these ones that they think may be now linked to Headley.
Okay.
It has some of these have been ongoing for a while though, because unfortunately it's not just the one either. So I'm going to crack on here. So that was Edna Harvey. This is Doris Shelley. Oh, and Edna Harvey, it was a really cute name. It was Operation Elderberry.
Oh,
I love that. This one is...
I love that. I'm a farmer.
Shut your face. A West Country
Don't call me
girl.
touchy face.
Doris Shelley, and this is Operation Valentine.
Oh.
Doris Shelley was an 82-year-old woman who largely kept to herself, living quietly in the small village of Martlesham near Ipswich, which I know well. That's where I used to go to my big Tesco. That's where the police headquarters are. The Ipswich Police Headquarters.
Did your big shop there?
Yeah, I used to... Did I live in Martlesham? My brother certainly did. Oh no, I was Kesgrove. Anyway, between 2 p.m. on Wednesday the 10th of February 1993 and 12:45 p.m. the following day, someone, or they do say possibly more than one person, because they don't conclusively know who did this yet, broke into her bungalow. Police suspect through a bedroom window. During the break-in, it's believed Doris was struck on the head. A neighbour discovered her the next morning dazed and confused. Doris sadly passed away as a result of the attack 11 days later. Poor Doris had already become extremely security conscious after suffering a violent robbery at her home just 18 months prior to this.
Oh no. And they say lightning doesn't strike twice, don't they?
I can't imagine how...
She must have been terrified.
18 months. Yeah. She rarely left the house because of it, relying on a small group of people to run errands for her and help with day-to-day tasks. And this makes me so sad because, like we said earlier, nobody should feel unsafe in their own home. It's meant to be a sanctuary.
When you go in and shut that door, you should feel safe.
Yeah. But a neighbour who helped her out said that it was her choice to remain in her home, and he described Doris, who was widowed at the age of 20, so she'd been on her own a while. He described her as fiercely independent, with an indomitable spirit. He said she was almost Churchillian. He was like, I've lost my husband, I live alone, I'm not going to let it beat me, and I can do it without anyone's help, was her sort of attitude.
Well, you know what, that should be everybody's attitude.
Yeah.
And if it's happened once, you would think, well, it's not going to happen again, is it? Like,
was it the same people
why
as well?
should
You
she
don't know.
Why should she move out of her home?
Exactly. In the first incident, Doris had locked herself in the bathroom.
Bless her.
And they stole over £12,000 worth of valuables, and she managed to escape through a bathroom window, and she actually stumbled to that neighbour's home to raise the alarm, so the one that said that about her.
How old was she again?
She was 82, so she
82, so she would have been 82, and she's climbing out the window.
I know, climbing out a
Bless her
bathroom
little
window.
self. I'm so sorry.
I know.
And she will probably have, well, she don't know what her family situation was, but there must be families somewhere. Like, that's badassery.
It is,
what
isn't
she
it?
did. Yeah, that's incredible.
To even having, just to even to lock yourself in the bathroom and do what you're supposed to do. Well, not what you're supposed to do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was her self-preservation. That was good. She did the right thing.
But at her age, especially in women, osteoporosis is a big deal, and going out a window knowing that you might end up in agony because you might break something on the way out, what a little diamond.
I know.
Poor Doris.
A number of arrests again were made, but no charges were ever brought. So the fact they were again able to arrest a number of suspects.
I wonder, do you know, was he ever brought in on any of these arrests, or they hadn't looked at him at all because he'd been quiet for so long?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is another case which may potentially be linked to Headley, obviously.
Oh, I can't.
So
Victoria.
Yeah.
Stop.
Oh no, sorry, I was just going about this one. So the area, the method of entry, the MO, the time frame, because we know he lived in Ipswich and it's just literally down the road, and the demographic all fit. And I just hope that they unearthed something that gives them conclusive answers. It said the police teams, including forensic officers, are actually reviewing more than 397 exhibits linked to Doris's case. Oof. Yeah, after her death, her bungalow was demolished and the land was sold and the money donated to the WWF, which is the World Wildlife Fund, not the World Wrestling Federation.
Oh, I thought Doris was really into wrestling. Well, she climbed out that window, I'm sorry, but I bet she might have loved the wrestling.
She could have had one of those funny masks.
I'm not taking the piss, I'm really not. That was a little bit, but you with your mask.
Sorry.
I'm not taking the piss.
No, she was a devoted animal lover, and so the money went to the World Wildlife Fund. I used to be a member of the World Wildlife Fund.
No, you joined the wrestling thing without realising.
Okay.
I feel like we didn't give Edna enough credit because we've really gave Doris.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Edna. I'm sure you were a wonderful woman.
There was
too.
not as much information about Edna, sadly, so... Yeah. So this is the last one I'm going to talk about today. This is particularly not good.
Would you like to share with the audience what you're looking at right now?
I'm looking at Angry Gem's face because she hates it when I do this.
Well, I just hate that people do this to each other, and I hate that... You know what? If you're gonna...
You wanted to do a true crime podcast, Mrs.
Shut your face. I hate that I hate that people pick people like that are vulnerable. Like if you think you're a badass that can go about and do things like this, why don't you pit yourself against somebody on your own level?
Yeah, pick on someone your own size.
Yeah, this is like bully mentality. It makes me. It just makes me sick.
But they wouldn't pick the most vulnerable. They wouldn't pick the strongest.
No, they won't. I know they won't.
Then
because they're little bitches.
Exactly.
That's why I said it about Nicholas Prosper, and I'll say it about
total. Headley is a little bitch.
He is a little bitch. And so are all the ones that keep getting pulled in for discussion, because obviously they've done similar crimes.
Yeah. So this one is it's quite a well-known case in Ipswich, and I remember seeing things about this. So it's slightly different in that this victim, Karen Hales, was actually just 21 years old.
Okay.
She was living in Lavenham Road in Ipswich with her partner and their 18-month-old daughter. It was Sunday, 21st of November 1993. That day, a blanket of snow covered the ground. It wasn't bitterly cold, but the weather kept most people indoors. By around 4 p.m, darkness had already settled in. Karen and her daughter were home alone. Her partner had left for work shortly before 4 o'clock. From recollection, I believe he was under suspicion initially, but we know that's usually part of the course, don't we?
Well, it is.
Those nearest to the victim. But he was quickly alibied and eliminated from suspicion, so just to clarify that. It's because it's such a short time frame. Mm-hmm. So just before 4:40, so this is just less than an hour, I think, since he'd gone to work, Karen's parents actually visited her partner at work to discuss something that was going wrong with their car. They did that before stopping in to see their daughter and granddaughter on the way home. So it was really quite a small window. They arrived at the house, knocked on the door, but when their daughter didn't answer, they peeked through the letterbox. You can imagine the instant shock and panic which must have hit them when they noticed smoke hanging in the air inside. And to their surprise, when they tried the front door, it was unlocked, which is something her father said was very unusual, as she always kept it locked and was safety conscious. They made their way inside, where they made a devastating discovery. Their daughter was laying on the kitchen floor, flames still burning, where somebody had tried to set her alight.
Oh my God.
Her father doused her with water from the sink, and this is when he realised the extent of his daughter's injuries. Karen had been stabbed to death and brutally assaulted before someone had attempted to set the young mother's body alight. Her father picked up his screaming granddaughter and handed her to his wife because the little girl was sat right next to her mother's side. Now, I listened to this and it was horrible. There's an audio clip available from BBC Radio Suffolk. I'll include it, but I will let you know that it's truly heart-wrenching. It was horrible. It really got to me. It features both of Karen's parents' recollection.
Was it the 999 call?
No. It's after the fact, but it's just her parents talking about the day that when they found her, and my heart absolutely aches for them. You can hear the lump in her dad's throat as he describes looking through that letterbox, and it's horrendous.
I'm thinking maybe we don't share that, but people can seek it out if they want.
And despite widespread media coverage and an extensive police investigation, once again, no one was ever identified as Karen's killer. In the years since, the case has been reviewed repeatedly and revisited in the media, including there was a Crime Watch appeal, but this horrific crime remains unsolved too. And I just want to know if fresh intel and DNA again, will it glean some sort of justice for Karen's family? And I know nothing mends a broken heart, but they deserve to know what happened. And they are broken people. They really are broken. So I'm saying we, but I'm saying we as the criminal crack, but I certainly will try and update you with any developments on this, because it seems to all be in hand at the moment.
I wonder why have they put that case in with potential Headley victims, because the victim choice is different. It sounds like if her parents had gone to see the partner and then come to her, sounds like they're maybe the sort of family that were in and out of each other's houses. So as a perpetrator, would that not be something you'd stay away from, because people can turn up at any time, whereas when they were picking or choosing their victims before, they knew there wasn't going to be people like that? Why is it
my thought is that,
is it the arson?
I think his crimes are bigger. I think he's been doing a lot more, and I think they know that. That's my suspicion.
But it's just because that victimology is different.
It was so close to where he lived. I think that opportunistically, because he had with Louisa, the first victim, he had been watching.
Yeah, but again, Louisa was older as well. I'm just not understanding why you would then go somewhere, especially with a child in the house as well.
Did he know her? Is it one of them?
Did she think he was this kindly, nice old man?
Nice old family man that tended to his garden.
How far away was his home?
Because this was one of the later ones. This was 1993.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Lavenham Road to... I can't remember if it said actually where he lived, but it was close enough.
Yeah.
So it seems that Headley may have been responsible for a great number of atrocities, and the fact that he evaded justice for so long, able to roam freely, indulging in cruelty, makes my blood boil. Instead of living his life unchecked, he should have been locked away and left alone with nothing but his own memories to torment him, in my opinion. And I think he should die a miserable death in prison alone, but he should have been in there a lot sooner.
He should have. The one good thing about, or not the one good thing, but another good thing about using DNA evidence means that now crimes can't be attributed to people who haven't done it. And I don't mean this from the sense of, innocent people going to jail. I'm not talking about that side. What I mean is, from that, I know it was a movie, but when we did the podcast with Andy, we were talking about how, what was his name, Henry Lucas? He was the confession killer. So he would attribute himself to cases, and that's how that shut a load of cold cases initially. I don't want to see that happen for these victims. If it was Headley, by all means.
With that one, they took their fingers off the ball because they thought they'd got their man, didn't they? And that shouldn't happen.
Eye off the ball.
What did I say?
Fingers.
Don't you put your fingers on balls? How do you throw them?
Let's not talk about fingers on balls.
Yeah, I think they just thought that they had their man, so they let it.
With the Henry Lucas?
Yeah.
No, I don't think they did. I think a lot of it was attributed. They
initially,
just said,
surely. Well, why would they close the cases if they didn't?
Because they needed the cases closed, especially in America. Because if you think about it, they've got their elected statesmen. Is that what it was?
I don't know.
Selectmen. That's what the name for your.
She's getting excited and pointing a pen at me.
Yeah, because the first husband of Louisa was an
alderman.
Alderman. They're selectmen in America.
Right. Okay, I'm with you now. Yeah.
So because everything over there is done by running for this, that, and the next thing,
you have to be an elected person.
Yeah. So if you can close a heap of cases in one go, that looks really good for your
With this, I'm glad, though, that the CPS went ahead and worked with the police review team to actually convict Headley. I think because with such an old case, they could have made a different decision. Because he was 92, they might have...
No, they can't let you off for crimes just because you're 92.
No.
I mean, I have seen things like people get early release from prison because they've got a terminal illness and they're really old and they're going to be dead soon. But no, they still have to follow that code of we get the bad guys.
See, I've always been taught to respect my elders. Always. And I do. But some people assume that all old people are good.
Yeah.
And always have been. And it's not the case. And he deserves
everything he gets.
Yeah.
So is he still in jail now?
Yeah.
Not dead yet?
Not dead yet. But hell's waiting. They're warming up a seat for him.
I don't really know what to say about this one. I have heard of the cases before. And I think it is... I don't know if it was Louisa or if it was one of the other ones I'd heard of before, of going into the elderly women's houses and doing what they did. Well, doing what he did, whoever it is. Because those last ones that you spoke about are not attributed to him.
Conclusively. They have said that they are reviewing them.
Yeah, but that's not...
In connection, but...
In connection, yeah, but then you can't say conclusively. You can't say not conclusively to them. You just have to... We have to wait now, don't we?
We have to wait.
Maybe set up Google alerts on their names.
I actually think they might just... This might be the... I can't think of the phrase tip of the iceberg. So I was getting lettuce in my head, and I was like... I know it's not a lettuce, but... Do you know...
Iceberg is a lettuce.
Yeah. I think it might be the tip of the iceberg with him. I think he's been a busy criminal for all of those years. All of them, since he arrived in the country.
I don't know too much about him apart from what you've told me today, so I can't speak to that. I'll maybe have a bit of a deep dive into him, but I know they say that some investigators say that about Tobin, and others say, actually, no, yeah, he did do what we've got him for, but he wasn't actually clever enough to mastermind what people seem to think he's done.
Did I tell you about my uncle and Tobin?
No.
My uncle was asked to vacate his flat because it was a former residence, and they wanted to do the search. So down in, I can't remember if he's in, I think Portsmouth or Southampton.
Yeah, but there was other people that said no to those searches, and I think that's disgusting. If police come to your door and say we need to dig up your garden, I don't care how landscaped your garden is, I don't care what you think the neighbours are going to think, I don't care what you think the neighbours are going to say. If that's going to give peace of mind to a family that are grieving, I don't even know, is grieving the right word? Do you grieve the missing? I think you probably do.
I think you must. Do you, though?
It's maybe not the right word.
In your head.
Yeah. A lot of people say they knew.
You can't... a lot of people do say that, don't they? Like, they know...
I know that that person would never leave and not ever make contact again. Yeah. So if you've got the police knocking at your door saying, you know, we want to check your back garden, let them.
It is a kind of grief. I mean, there's one person in my life that I had to treat a bit like it was grief because the person that I knew wasn't who he turned out to be. Yeah. And so that was... I treated that like grief. I treated that like he's dead to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
I don't know if grievance... I'm just wondering if actually in the English dictionary, if there's another word for it. There probably is a word where it's grieving even though the person's not died. But you can... Because you can obviously grieve a relationship. You can grieve anything really, I guess. But yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. I also think these people will tend to find people with similar interests as well. You know, like when we talk about killer couples.
Yeah.
Like those two people find each other and they seem to both be into this horrible stuff.
I still can't fathom how that ever happens.
It's not funny, but I just have this vision of like being date night and like, oh, what do you want to do tonight? Oh, we could watch a movie. Oh, we did that last week. Oh, we could go for dinner. We could do that. We could go murder a bunch of people. Oh my God, I've just been waiting for the day you would say that. Because how else, if somebody asked me to go and kill somebody, I'd be like, are you mental? As I'm phoning 999.
Yeah.
Well, that was another awful case.
I know.
My next one's no better.
I was going to say, my next one is gruesome.
Great. I'll look forward to that.
Absolutely
nobody
gruesome.
Ever. And your next one comes out just after Christmas.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, my next one is the 14th of December. And I was looking for a Christmas vibed case. But a lot of really horrific, gruesome, horrible, just crazy things have happened on Christmas Day that it would really bum everybody out. So I have found a case, and it's not an ice case. I mean, it's true crime. I'm not going to bring you an ice case, but there's some sort of resolution.
Okay, that sounds promising. Tinsel tits. Yeah, my next case has been recommended by someone, so that'd be nice. No, it won't be nice. What am I saying? It's horrible.
I've got a recommended in my back pocket because I'm going to need to do a good bit of work on it because it was a case I hadn't actually heard of before.
Oh, excellent.
Which doesn't happen very
See,
often.
Gemma has a bit of an advantage because she listens to a lot of pods herself, and so she knows what have been done. And when I look, I think, oh, that sounds good, but I don't want to keep doing ones that loads of people have done.
But the thing is, you're given a fresh perspective on it.
I am.
And I haven't listened to a true crime podcast for over a month.
Oh, wow.
I've been listening to audiobooks because I got fatigue.
Excellent.
Currently listening to a K.L. Slater book called The Waitress. Have you read that one?
Is that the one that the play is about?
What play?
There's a play called The Waitress.
It's I don't know. I found a really good new author. She's not a new author, new to me.
She's 7. She's just started.
She does it in crayon. And she...
I do everything in crayon. What are you talking about?
Victoria got dressed up Frank Spencer-esque the other night.
Just for you.
Hang on, I'm just going to look this up on Audible.
I did, and I went to bingo. My dad was hosting a bingo, and I went to support him. It wasn't for money, it was for chocolate, mostly.
All bingo should be for chocolate.
My mum won a big tin of, like, one of those giant tins of Quality Street, like the size of the tins, how they used to be in the 80s.
Yeah.
Proper job. I would rather they did that. I would rather you actually got a big giant tin once a year that you were excited about, rather than them competing with these shitty plastic tubs that are half full of... And bring back coffee creams, Egypt.
My friend's sister just got a new house and he gave her a box of, I can't remember if he said it was Quality Street or Celebrations, and his niece has walked about with the empty tin under her arm ever since it was emptied. Right, 2 writers. The first one is Gillian McAllister. So I had listened to Just Another Missing Person and another one that I can't find right now.
Is she related to Kevin?
Don't think so.
Kevin!
Worst mother ever. And I also listened to, right, I don't know how to say her surname. You know from Skins, Kaya, is it Scaldario? She's also in The Gentleman, the TV show. She is the voice of a book by a Jessica May Harper called The Smart Girl's Guide to Revenge, and it's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, so I would give that a listen. So I'm just giving you my recommendations here.
There we go.
And that'll be about it. Next episode's out on the 14th of December. You'll all be ready for Christmas, hopefully.
We might do a little festive photo for you.
Or we might not.
We will.
Oh, I was going to say about the bingo. I was meant to be going to the bingo.
Yeah.
I was really looking forward to it. And Victoria messaged me, was it the day before? And said, wait, are you coming to the bingo tomorrow? And I was like, it's not until the 27th. So it hadn't even happened. In my mind, it's not even happened until tomorrow. And it was the wrong date. But I had words with your father today.
You did.
And it turns out the early doors dates might have been around that time. And I said, every time I've mentioned it, I've said the date. Oh, okay.
He wrote the wrong date on the calendar and it was his own shindig.
Yeah, but he wrote the 29th, didn't he?
But that is the Sunday.
That's not even the Sunday, because the 27th's Thursday, 28th's Friday, 29th's Saturday. But apparently originally it was meant to be on a Friday as well.
You're right.
I know,
goodness
ridiculous.
Gracious. Goodness me.
So thank you for listening. Please follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Insta, Facebook at The Criminal Crack, and please speak to us. We love a little comment. We love a little chit chat.
I was going to say we're on Threads as well, but I think that's just like an auto link from Instagram or something like that. I think they go.
Threads is attached to Facebook, isn't it?
Oh, is it Facebook?
It's
all the metaverse, isn't it? I don't know.
And people keep asking us to join Lemonade or whatever it's called.
What's
Lemon8. I have no idea.
What is it?
Another social media, I think.
We could have my lemon picture as the.
Well, do you know what? I was going to say Lemon Party, and people of a certain age will know what Lemon Party is.
Is that something to do with water sports?
No.
Okay.
I left my laptop.
I wish I hadn't said that now.
In 2007, I worked in Wetherspoons, and I was in this big group of friends, and most of them were guys, so they found this really amusing. I had my laptop one day, and when I went to the toilet and came back, there was a picture on it, and they said Lemon Party, and it's a group of naked old men having an orgy.
Ew.
So we've not been asked to join that.
I'm glad.
And Victoria keeps alluding to this picture with the lemon, but I didn't know it was her in the picture, and I said maybe it's just really small boobs, and
because I said it was a really big lemon, and yeah, you were like,
maybe the boobs are just really
and
small.
I said no, part of the itty bitty titty committee,
but I didn't know it was she until I walked in and I was like, fuck, she's got that top on. Anyway, love you long time, guys. Bye.
Keep on trucking.